We went to the last week of the Harry Potter exhibition that was visiting Utah. It basically has a lot of movie props and just fun exhibits that you can do. My mom and I did visit the studio tour in England, so we'd seen a lot of this before, but it was really fun to see again. They give you little bracelets that you match with your name, and then you go through and you can touch things to make things happen. So this was the Marauders map, and when we touched this room, our names showed up on the big map on the wall. That was really fun. And then the screens turned into Hogwarts, and we got to watch it go through all of the seasons, watch the Hogwarts Express and the little car arrive, and then watch it turn to winter. It was really beautiful. This was one of my favorite parts of the whole exhibition. But then the Dementors showed up, and we all had to do a Patronus spell and get them to go away, so that Hogwarts could be bright and sunny again. After this, we went into a hallway that was supposed to look like Hogwarts and had even the moving paintings. It had a couple of different walls of them. So we just kind of walked along with the other people that had to show up for that time period. And I really loved looking at the details of the paintings and seeing how some of them did move. We got to see the Fat Lady, and then we went right into this section that had stained glass windows that I thought were amazing. It had one for each of the different houses, and I originally thought that this would be different sections you'd have to go into from this common area, but once you went behind the signs, then they were all actually connected. So we looked at the signs, looked at the sorting hat, got sorted into our different houses, and then we went into Gryffindor originally, but it was a little bit more crowded, so we went back over to Hufflepuff and then started from there and went through all of the different house areas, seeing different props from the movies, outfits that different characters wore. They had Scorpius and Albus from The Cursed Child, representing Slytherin along with Draco and Bellatrix. And then Luna for Hufflepuff, of course. Then we went into the Great Hall. They had the flickering candles, but they also had a big screen that was moving to make it look like you were in the Great Hall, that it was bigger than it was. All of the details were really amazing. The spaces were pretty small, but they definitely did well on the details. Minerva McGonagall was in there, and then we went straight into a wand area. In here, you could, again, walk up to a little screen. You would tap your bracelet that you were given onto a little, it looked like a little golden snitch, and then it would show you who you were, show you what your wand was, and then you had to learn a wand move. I failed the first time, but then I got it. And I just thought these little activities were really fun. I think that probably for little kids, that would be the best part of it. You get points toward your house when you're done. This whole room had a bunch of different little wands, and then they had these giant replica wands as well in between them. Then we went into the divination room. You were able to do like a little prophecy inside of a magic 8-ball type thing. Sirius showed up in the fire, and then it was into potions class. In potions class, I tapped my bracelet, and then I was able to pick which potion I wanted to make. They had a book with all the ingredients, and then you had to select the ingredients on the screen based on that book to see if you could make the potion. And once you did, it turned green and made bubbling noises, and you got more points for your house. This area had the outfits from Horace Slughorn and Severus Snape. I had to send one to Alma after she kept getting questions in our live about Slughorn and didn't know who he was. Then you go into herbology, and in here there were a lot of plants, and they even had mandrakes that we could try to plant. And then straight from there into Defense Against the Dark Arts, where they had Gilderoy Lockhart and Professor Lupin. Then we went into the grounds, and it looked very fallish, Halloweenish, and we went to Hagrid's hut. The hut had two main areas, his kitchen area and his basically little living room where his chair was. And then you went straight out the back door into the Forbidden Forest. Then you entered the Triwizard Tournament area, where they had the Triwizard Cup, they had the outfits of the 4 champions, and there was a giant dragon guarding an egg. And then there was a Quidditch area. So there were Quidditch outfits, and my favorite part of the whole thing was being able to play Quidditch with the balls. You can see my daughter just knocked my ball right out of the thing before I could get it through the ring. But I did make it that time. And then it went into a Fantastic Beasts area. First you did a port key and the screen had you moving, and then you went into a Fantastic Beasts area, and then Ministry of Magic, where there was the fires that you arrive in and the telephone booth that you can call to get in. And that took us straight to Dolores Umbridge's office, complete with moving cats on the walls. And then somehow we were in Harry Potter, in the Dursleys' house, seeing where Harry Potter lived under the stairs. And then we were in Sirius Black's house, and we got to see the tapestry. And then there were Molly and Arthur Weasley's outfits in here. Soon after that, we made it into the Chamber of Secrets. And then we saw Voldemort's outfit. My mom and my daughter's toy got to duel each other. So we got to see some of the outfits from the last part of the movies. And then we got to see which house won, who had the most points. And then it takes you straight into the gift shop. They had a really good selection. And then my mom treated us all to Butterbeer. It was really fun, and I would definitely recommend it if it comes to your area. We just got back from the exhibition, so I'm going to show you what I got. I ended up getting this keychain that is a Gryffindor. It's a little stained glass, and you really can have the light come through it. So I thought that was really cool. I love stained glass. And yes, I'm being a Slytherin this month, but I am technically a Gryffindor, so I'm going with that. And then I got a little teeny notebook that just has the Marauders map on it. And then I got this card, but I'll use it for decoration. And it looks like the front of the Daily Prophet, so you can see Snape kind of moves back and forth on there. So then I also got this, that's just like a lined journal that is made to look like the Hogwarts history textbook. And I thought that was just so cool. My mom also bought us some butterbeer before we left. So we had these little plastic cups that they came into that says Harry Potter, the exhibition. And it's actually pretty nice plastic. So I'm just gonna wash those out and then probably use them as a decoration in my library, in my Harry Potter section. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I will do something with it.